Well, I'm back to the situation where I have to own up and say I've made a big mistake with this Skeg. I put the Skeg on a few weeks back, and I don't know what I was thinking at the time, why things went the way they did, but anyway, I put the Skeg on and then I cut the hole and put the, you can probably see under there, put the rudder post and shaft and that through, welded it all up. I put two big webs inside, welded them up to stiffen everything up, got it all ready. And then for some reason I just kept thinking it didn't look right. And what I've actually done is I've made a mistake in the measurements. So that rudder post that you see poking through there, that should actually be about there. So it's about 12 inches too far forward, the whole thing. For the life of me, I don't know what I did, how I managed to do this. Just I measured from the wrong point is all I can assume. Frame 10, you can just about see a bit of a scratch mark there. Frame 10 is there, and this rudder shaft, the rudder post and shaft should be 7.5 inches forward of that. But that's actually a great deal further. So anyway, to be, it's one of my favourite words at the moment, philosophical. To be philosophical, I've just got to cut this Skeg off. Fortunately, you can see there's a doubler there. It's actually welded to a doubler. So I'm just going to cut that Skeg off, extend the doubler from where it is currently there, extend it a bit further back to about here, and then cut a new hole, reposition everything. The most painful part is going to be separating the back edge of the Skeg there from the post. It's quite a hefty weld goes up through there, so to split through that's going to take a while. The rest of it's not too bad. Once I remove the Skeg by cutting through that weld there and just pulling it off, I can clean that doubler up and patch it up. And also the hole, removing this rudder post, the hole that leaves could just be filled. That won't be an issue. That shouldn't take too long, you know, more than a day or so to get all that pulled out and redone. But putting it all back in and lining it all up again is going to take a couple of days. So I've got 3 days now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hopefully I can get this done over this extended weekend, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. And there it is, one Skeg. So it wasn't too bad. As you can see, I've cut right through the weld. Got into that doubler a little bit, but I'll just weld over that and tied it up afterwards. That'll be fine. No big drama. This is going to be the fun bit here, getting the rudder post out. But what I'm going to do is use the plasma cutter and cut around the outside of that. And again, I'll put a plug, because it's a doubler, I'll put a plug in that and the opening and the hull inside. Fill them both up, and then from that point there, we'll extend this doubler right back to here somewhere. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but fortunately it's not too much of a nightmare to get it off. As I said, putting it back on is probably the slow part, and getting it lined up again and realigned is going to be the problem. Of course, I've got these big web, you can see the weld marks there. Inside I've got large 6mm webs spanning across that doubler, and this post is actually welded right through the centre of that web inside, so I'll have to cut through the web as well, but again the plasma cutter will just make short work of that. Once I get the post out, then I've just got to clean it up, clean all the weld off of it, tidy it up, and take the bearings out before I put it back together. I'll put it down a little bit if I can. It's a bit tight, but you can see up in there they're nylon bearings, so they're pretty easy to get in and out. That's not going to stay in there. It's going to fall out. Well, that's alright, I'll take the shaft right out then. So I'll come back later and we'll see how we go with getting that out once it's removed and extending the doubler up the hole. Well, there you go. I've cut the skeg off and cut out the post, the rudder post. Nice big hole up inside the boat there. That's okay, that'll fill alright. Clean up and put a filler in there, weld that up, that'll be fine. And clean this area up. So I think probably today I'll spend the rest of the day cleaning up the skeg and getting it ready, and I'll cut the hole back here, about here, for the correct position for the rudder post. And I'll put that back in tomorrow. So hopefully by tomorrow evening, late afternoon, I'll have that skeg and rudder post back in position. What I do have to do is cut another web plate, similar to those ones there. You can see that go right across from here. I'll have to place one somewhere around about there, again where that scratch mark is there. I'll have to measure it and mark it properly obviously, but and hopefully get it right this time. But that's where it'll go. A big web inside, and you can see from up in there that the rudder post actually sits between the two halves of the web spanning across the bottom of the hull. I can only just about see the end of that where I cut it off. Wasn't too bad to get that out. It was a bit painful, but you know, I can live with it. It's just a few days work lost, which is a shame, but never mind.